We are Black We are Wisconsin.
One more time around in Phoenix, Arizona. A little Wednesday afternoon baseball as the Milwaukee Brewers and the Arizona Diamondbacks wrap up this three-game series. They'll see each other again in a few days, but the series has been good. Orlando Arcia getting the Brew Crew off to a good start on Monday night, and Jonathan Villar going opposite field for his second homer of the season in a Milwaukee victory last night. Good pitchers duel, but Daniel Descalso with an eighth-inning RBI single. Brad Boxberger coming up with the save for the Diamondbacks as they took Game 2, 2-1 last night, which sets up today's series finale. Matt Cook on the mound for the Diamondbacks, and Brandon Woodruff looking for a bounce-back performance this afternoon for the Milwaukee Brewers. Good afternoon from inside Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. Alongside Bill Schroeder, I'm Matt LePay. Sophia Minert is our reporter this afternoon, and Brandon Woodruff is looking for a good outing this afternoon. Looking to continue a trend, Rock. These last three outings, the Brewers starters have pitched very, very well.
Yeah, it wouldn't be a big surprise if the names were Jimmy Nelson, Chase Anderson, Zach Davies, all three of those guys on the disabled list. You know, we've been hearing about the depth of this pitching staff all spring, even in spring training, and it was been put to the test. Freddie Peralta a few days ago in Colorado, 13 punch-outs, and Junior Guerra, outstanding work last night, or a couple of nights ago at Chase Field. 2-0 last three. Look at the earned run average and look at the opponent batting average. Outstanding work. Guerra good. Chassin had his best stuff of the year, going 7 innings. So hopefully that kind of trend is going to continue with Brandon Woodruff. He needs a good turnaround today.
It was a bumpy outing for Woodruff last Friday, but the offense came alive and got him off the hook. When we continue, Sophia Minert will take a look at the formula that Woody needs to follow to have some success in this series wrap-up in Phoenix.
Baseball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Hupy and Abraham. Voted best, rated best. Hupy and Abraham. Tell them you mean business. By Miller Lite. Great taste and only 96 calories. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. The second stop of a 10-game road trip in 3 cities comes to a conclusion here today at Chase Field. The Brewers and the Diamondbacks wrapping up a 3-game series. Good afternoon, everyone. Sophia Minert here at Chase Field. And thanks to Junior Guerra and Yoli Chassin last night, the Brewers now have back-to-back quality starts, and Brandon Woodruff would love to give them 3 straight for the first time here this season. But for Woodruff, he's looking to overcome some struggles in his first 2 starts. They've been short starts for him, 3 2/3 against the Cubs, and then in his last start Friday against the Rockies, he went just 3 innings and gave up 7 earned runs. So you see his numbers as a starter, 10 games for him, a 2-3 record, and a 5.8 earned run average. This will be just his 3rd start of the season and his first ever against the Diamondbacks. For Woodruff, he wants to get back to his pitching style, and for him, the key is being aggressive.
Keep doing what I'm doing, staying aggressive. I think that's part of my pitching style is just being aggressive, and I think just doing a little bit better of pitch sequencing and knowing what pitches to throw and what counts and stuff like that. And but coming to this start, I just want to keep being aggressive, keep throwing strikes, and get the guys swinging early in the counts.
Brandon Woodruff looking to give the Brewers a quality start here in the series finale and give them 2 straight road series wins here on the road trip after winning 3 out of 4 against the Rockies. We've got the finale of this 3-game set between the Brewers and the D-backs coming up next.
Field, and hello, Denver. Manny Pena goes opposite field. Field, and hello, Denver. Manny Pena goes opposite field, and it's 10-10. What a debut for the 21-year-old from the Dominican Republic. His family here on a day he will never forget. Pollock, a long run, can't get it. Yelich will score. Saladino rounding 3rd, throw to the plate, and safe at home is Saladino, an inside the park home run. It has been a good road trip so far, and the Wednesday afternoon, it's going to get a little warm here, so we've got it all closed up inside Chase Field. Beautiful conditions for the third and final game of this set, the Brewers and the Diamondbacks. Here's the Brewers batting order presented by Potawatomi. Lorenzo Cain, Christian Yelich, Jesus Aguilar, 1, 2, 3. Travis Shaw hitting cleanup. Domingo Santana, Jonathan Villar, Tyler Saladino gets the start at short. Jet Bandy and Brandon Woodruff. That's the batting order that will face the Diamondbacks starter Matt Cook, as we are ready to go here for game number 3. And the first pitch is outside, and we are off and running in Phoenix.
Yeah, Cook's been throwing the baseball pretty well. It's his third season. He lost his last time out. 8 innings, 3 runs, and a 3-1 loss to the Washington Nationals. Right here at Chase Field. 2-1 overall, 243 the earned run average, making start number 6.
He has gone through the gauntlet in terms of his mound opponent or opponents here in his last 3 starts. 2 balls, no strikes to Lorenzo Cain as we are just getting underway. And the first strike of the afternoon from Matt Cook. His last 3 starts, he's actually made some history, has Matt Cook. He has faced 3 Cy Young winners back to back to back. Clayton Kershaw, Justin Verlander, and Max Scherzer. And he's fared okay, 1 up, 1 down. The last outing, he certainly pitched well enough to get a win, but it was a losing decision.
Yeah, kind of the luck of the draw, right? But he has pitched well. He's matched him pitch for pitch for the most part.
2 balls, 2 strikes to Lorenzo Cain. Cook getting in the rotation because of the injury to Taijuan Walker, needing Tommy John surgery after just 3 starts to Walker's season. So they insert Cook in there, and he has fared pretty well. And he starts this day by walking Lorenzo Cain. Something he doesn't do a whole lot of, but a walk to start things here this afternoon.
Yeah, doesn't walk many, doesn't strike many out. Let's check out the defense behind Cook here today. Got Peralta, Dyson, Souza in the outfield. Rod Dyson getting his first start in the series in center field. Descalso, Ahmed, Marte, and Goldschmidt the same infield all 3 games. And you got Avila behind home plate. Alex Avila, the left-handed hitter, veteran catcher behind home plate today.
And one of 3 catchers that Torey Lovello has on the 25-man roster. Christian Yelich now steps to the plate. It was all about pitching last night. The teams combining for 5 hits. The Diamondbacks getting a 1-run victory, 2 runs on just 3 hits in the game. Yolis Chacin pitched very well, maybe his best outing as a Brewer.
Yeah, both innings the Diamondbacks scored. They had leadoff walks. Yeah, other than that, Brewers pitching outstanding last night. It's been kind of a trend lately, starters and relievers.
Yeah, they have made it work. There's a changeup misses from Cook, a ball to strike to Christian Yelich. We mentioned it in the open. Freddie Peralta, his debut on Sunday. So effective. Junior Guerra relying on the fastball predominantly, and then Yolis Chacin had that breaking ball going for him last night. Zach Greinke pitched well too, and the Diamondbacks bullpen was as advertised last night. Brewers got to it on Monday. That was not the case last evening. So a couple of pretty good games. The Brewers pulled away on Monday to win 7-2. 1-run win for the D-backs last night. And we'll see how today unfolds. From here, the Brewers head to Minneapolis. Off day tomorrow. They'll take on the Twins over the weekend. The Diamondbacks will head off to New York. Series with the Mets. And then these 2 clubs go right back at each other next week at Miller Park. Cain dancing off the bag as Yelich sends one deep but foul.
Yeah, Twins playing much better baseball. I mean, all of a sudden the Twins only 2 games under 500. They beat the Cardinals last night. A day game at Target Field this afternoon against St. Louis.
Two balls, 2 strikes. 27-year-old Matt Cook out of the University of Louisville. Brewers scored first last night, and that normally has been a great thing for this ball club. It was an exception to the rule last night where they scored first and ended up losing. Cain's breaking, and Cook noticing late, and the throw not handled by Nick Ahmed. Well, Lorenzo was dancing off the bag a moment ago, and he just took off, and he has himself second base.
Yeah, Cook in no hurry out there, is he? I mean, check it out. I mean, how long is he going to wait to step off and make a throw? Ahmed just dropped the baseball. It would have been close had he kept it in the glove. But he missed it.
So the Brewers with a runner in scoring position. See, already 10 stolen bases for Lorenzo Cain. He is on a pace that would get him to a career high in that category. 2-2 to Yelich. And out in front of the plate, Avila is there for the first out of the ball game.
Well, let's check out our Pizza Ranch for the win here this afternoon. Cook's been pretty good early. First time through a batting order this year. Opponents hitting only 170 against him. So, yeah, be patient. Second time through, normally better results. He throws a lot of strikes. 65% strike percentage. So if you're a Brewer hitter, go up there, swing. He's not going to walk you too much. And Brandon Woodruff has to avoid the big inning. Gave up 7 runs in back-to-back innings against the Rockies.
It was a night where the Brewers found themselves down 9-3 after 4 innings, but the crew rallied, went on to win in a wild one, 11-10 in 10 innings. Here is Jesus Aguilar. He had a hit last night, a double in the ball game. Brewers ended up with just 5 hits on the night. Travis Shaw, who's on deck, drove in the only run for Milwaukee. Been a tough series. Aguilar took a, just call it a tough luck called third strike last night in the 9th. He doesn't get very animated out there, but he was a little bit last evening. High and tight on the offering from Cook.
Yeah, but Aguilar wasn't the only one. It was a kind of a floating strike zone last night. Pitchers, hitters, not real happy with the strike zone.
1-1 the count to Aguilar. Cain a walk and a stolen base. Lorenzo is aggressive on the bases here in this first month and a half. 10 stolen bases. He's been caught just twice. One pitch to Aguilar.
Yeah, pretty good pitch to hit right there. A slider that stayed right up in the zone down the middle. Aguilar like to have that one back.
Cook will give up the home run ball. Gave up a couple in his last outing against the Nationals. And his splits are reversed. Right-handed hitters fare pretty well against him, hitting 286. Lefties just 141.
Yeah, and hard to figure. He's basically fastball, slider, cutter. I mean, normally that's effective pitches. Those are effective pitches against right-handers.
Cal holds a ball, 2 strikes to Aguilar. Diamondbacks begin the day atop the National League West. 2.5 game lead over Colorado. The Brewers a half game behind the Pirates. Cook again ready with the 1-2 and another foul ball. Aguilar continues in the starting lineup. Ryan Braun continues not to be in the lineup, still dealing with that back tightness.
Yeah, the further along this goes, I mean, I think the better chance there is maybe a DL stint for Braun. You can retroactive the disabled list going back 3 days is all. But and we'll see if he's even available today.
The 1-2. Yeah, Braun aggravated the back a little bit on Sunday in Denver. We have not seen him in this series. Hernan Perez was only available to pinch run last night. He came in for Travis Shaw in the 9th inning. Counsell was a little short of available bodies.
Yeah, we were wondering why Jet Bandy was the pinch hitter to lead off the 8th inning. It kind of normally doesn't do that. You don't pinch hit your only other catcher.
Aguilar to shallow right field, and Souza the sliding catch. Out number 2. Let's get more on Ryan Braun and his dealing with this back tightness. Let's check in with Sophia Minard.
Well, as you guys said, he's missing his 3rd straight game. We have not seen him in this series since he left Sunday's game in Denver. And Craig Counsell said they're still not ruling out a DL stint for him. He said if by Friday, the start of the weekend series in Minnesota, if Braun is not ready, then there will likely be a move. And as you said, they can retroactive him probably back to the start of this series. But the good news is that Hernan Perez was feeling a little bit better. He had the wrist soreness. So as you guys said, it was a really short bench for Counsell last night.
Yeah, options quite limited, and we'll see moving forward with Ryan and see if the DL is the next step.
Man, that's a nice thing about that 10-day disabled list. You're not going to be without him very long. So a lot of organizations are jumping on that DL just so they don't have to play shorthanded and make sure a guy gets completely healthy before returning to the lineup.
1 strike and nothing to Travis Shaw. 1 for 3 with a walk last night. His double drove in the only run for the Crew. He leads this team with 9 homers. He has driven in 24. Brewers still 25-18 with the loss last night. 4-2 so far in this road trip, taking 3 out of 4 against the Rockies, splitting the first 2 here in Arizona. And there's a drive deep to right field, and it hits the foul pole. A home run for Travis Shaw, launching one down the right field line. 2-0 Milwaukee.
Well, he's got the stroke going right now. That's his 3rd home run on this road trip. And that was high off that foul pole and right. Wow. Boy, did he hammer that. He's locked in right now. He's seeing the baseball well. Had an RBI double last night. Fastball out over the plate, was supposed to be in, only 90 miles an hour. And just a question whether that was going to be fair. I mean, that was about 3/4 of the way up that pole. A blast for Shaw.
And the Brewers score first, and Santana drive left field, back to back here in the 1st inning.
Well, the book on Cook, he's tough first time through, but not so much today. Boy, another blast. No cheapie there for Santana. That's got to feel good for him.
2nd home run of the year. He got all of it. We mentioned that Cook is vulnerable to the big fly, and the Brewers aren't messing around.
Yeah, getting a lot of the plate, and he knew it. As soon as he saw contact or heard contact, he saw his reaction. That way back. The Brewers are flexing their muscles here today. Day games haven't been real kind to the Brewers, although they did win Sunday in Colorado.
That's right, starting a new trend
yeah,
here.
Forget about that. Not good in day games.
0-1 pitch to VR. VR had a good night on Monday, had 3 hits, including a home run, took an 0 for 4 last night. But last night was a game where there were a lot of 0-fers. 5 hits for the Brewers and 3 for the Diamondbacks. VR back in there at second base this afternoon. Cook with a 1-2. Talked a lot about the humidor here. That has been a non-issue in the opening inning today. We've seen a lot of fly balls that have died that maybe in the past have left the yard, but a couple of rockets hit out of here.
Well, you know, the way those balls were hit, they could have been soaked in water. It wouldn't have mattered. Those balls were hit. Well, Brewers scoring first, and they've hit a home run. That really bodes well for the team. They've been winning a lot of games when they do those two things.
Yeah, that was the problem last night. They did score first. They were able to check that box, but they didn't go deep. They're still 21-5 when they score first, and 20-5 when they play long ball. So there you go. That felt good for Santana, as you said, felt good for his teammates as well. Brandon Woodruff gets spotted an early lead. A ball, 2 strikes to VR.
Yeah, Matt Cook in not a big hurry to get rid of the baseball so far today. Takes a little bit of time between pitches.
He does. And this will be pitch number 28 here in the opening inning.
Very deliberate out there. That's a much better term for he's going really slow. Deliberate.
Deliberate, methodical.
Right.
Snail's pace. 8th pitch of the at bat coming up to VR. And that's through, a base hit. Well, the Brewers doing some work here in the first inning. Back-to-back home runs, opposite field single from VR.
He's doing a really good job taking the baseball to the opposite field lately.
Saladino.
Home run to left center a couple of nights ago. Now a ground ball in the left field on a 2-strike pitch. Yeah, fastball away and able to get on top of it and find the hole between short and third. Cook only throwing 90, 91 miles an hour today.
Yeah, we were told it's more in that 93 range.
Right.
The first mound visit of the afternoon here in inning number 1, like Butcher, the pitching coach, trying to settle Matt Cook. Drafted by the New York Mets in the 3rd round was Cook back in 2012. Came over to the Diamondbacks in August of 15. A trade involving Addison Reed, Miller Diaz. Here's Tyler Saladino. Early impressions have been a resounding thumbs up as a Brewer for Saladino. He's the shortstop this afternoon. Inside the park home run in the 9th inning on Monday night.
A pinch hit inside the park home run, the first ever in Brewers history. And he can pick it too. We saw him defensively in Colorado. He's got good hands, good throwing arm.
And he was in the lineup Sunday afternoon in Denver. And inside the park home run, that was the play where the Diamondbacks lost their center fielder, A.J. Pollock, a fractured left thumb. It's believed he'll be out 4 to 8 weeks. He was trying to lay out and make a diving catch. That's a big hit to this Arizona ball club, obviously. Saladino, as a Brewer, has come on and has certainly made a very favorable impression. 4 for 8 here on the trip.
Hey, getting a start today. Orlando Arcia getting today off, at least the beginning of the day. So he'll essentially get 2 days off with the team off day tomorrow. A couple of days off his feet. Yeah, probably back at it on Friday.
Get him ready for the Twins. A ball, a strike to Saladino. And there's a fly ball hit into right field. Souza drifting back, and he will have enough room And the inning is over, but a good start for the Milwaukee Brewers against Matt Cook. Brandon Woodruff gets spotted the early lead. Travis Shaw goes deep. A 2-run shot off the foul pole. And right after, it's Domingo Santana giving the Brew Crew a 3-0 lead. The 5th time this year. 2-run shot from Shaw, solo blast from Santana. 3-0 Milwaukee as the Diamondbacks get their first cuts today. Here's their batting order presented by Potawatomi. Peralta, Dyson, and Descalso at the top. Goldschmidt, Souza, and Marte. Alex Avila, Nick Ahmed, Matt Cook rounding out the batting order against Brandon Woodruff. Talked a lot about the Diamondbacks' struggles offensively, but they did enough last night to draw even in this series. Peralta 1 for 4 last evening. And we'll see how this day goes for Brandon Woodruff.
Yeah, 3rd start for Brandon. Had a rough time of it his last time out against Colorado. He got a no decision because the Brewers won that game 11-10 in 10 innings, 3 innings, 9 hits, 7 runs.
It's Tyler Saladino for the first out of the inning.
This is his first ever start against the Diamondbacks. Let's check out the defense behind Brandon Woodruff here today. You got Yelich, Kane, Santana in the outfield. Travis Shaw at 3rd. You got Saladino getting his start at shortstop. They got Jonathan Villar, Aguilar over at first base. Today, Jeff Bandy gets a start behind home plate.
There is Jet working with Brandon Woodruff as Gerard Dyson steps to the plate. He came in as a pinch runner last night and ended up scoring what proved to be the winning run on the Daniel Descalso single. Dribbled one through the right side of the infield against Boone Logan, did Descalso. 33-year-old Gerard Dyson, who was a very, very late round pick by the Royals 12 years ago. The key player Ned Yost could turn to was back-to-back World Series teams of 14 and 15.
Yeah, did such a good job roaming the outfield over there in Kauffman Stadium in Kansas City. Stole some bases, makes contact.
Getting him over here gives Torey Lovello a little small ball option, and they had that going for him last night. Get you in the mid-20s to the mid-30s in stolen bases. He was with the Seattle Mariners last year. Dyson signing a 2-year contract with the D-backs back in February.
Yeah, Torey Lovello loading his lineup up with left-handed hitters. Every one of his lefties is in there. He's got a switch hitter in the lineup against Woodruff.
And Woodruff catches the inside edge, a full count. The Bellows team with the win last night, it snapped a 6-game losing streak. Another big hit for Descalso against the Brewers. Done that a few times in his career. Dyson draws a 1-out walk.
I guess you're wondering how Woodruff would come out here in the first inning. Remember, the Brewers had a long top of the first. It was a 22-minute top of the first inning, so Woodruff warms up, sits in the dugout for almost a half an hour, and then has to come out and pitch. He was able to get the first out, but he does walk Dyson, not a guy you want to walk.
Yeah, the good news is he gets spotted the early lead, but it can throw you off your routine in extended inning. And here is Daniel Descalso.
I don't think any pitcher is going to complain about a 22-minute offensive inning.
Put 3 runs on the board, get a crooked number before you take them out. That's all right.
Usually good news.
For the Mariners last year, Dyson stole 28 bases. He was caught 7 times. That's pretty much a typical year for Dyson. He did have as many as 36 in 2014 with the Royals.
Yeah, Jet Bandy has been doing a real good job throwing out base stealers. Just a matter of whether Woodruff's going to give him a chance.
Yeah, Bandy has thrown out 3 of 5 who have tried to run against him. But Rock, is, you know more than most of us, you need the pitcher to help you, right? You got to have a chance.
Yeah, pitcher has to be quick to home plate. You have to have a good throw, and you have to have a good tag. So it's 3 guys involved. Catchers get the statistic, but it's not just him.
Hear a lot about pop time now in baseball, and you know, the time it hits the catcher's mitt it's down to the middle infielder. 2 seconds is about average. Bandy can get it down there. Pena got it down there in under 1.8 to get Billy Hamilton in Cincinnati a few weeks ago.
Yeah, that's rare. You get it out that quickly.
A ball, a strike to Descalso. He has been one of the better clutch hitters for the Diamondbacks this season. Here's the 1-1. That go-ahead RBI last night off the bat of Descalso. That's the 7th time this season he has driven in the go-ahead RBI. Only AJ Pollock has more. And you see the overall numbers, but over the last 3+ weeks, he's hitting .339.
And it got him in the number 3 spot. Goldschmidt's been there because Pollock's been behind him as a cleanup hitter. Pollock's gone, so they have to shuffle the lineup.
Here's the 1-2. Counsell has seen his team win 4 of the first 6 on the road trip. 2 3-city road trips for the Brewers, and in between they just had that quick 5-game homestand with the Indians and the Pittsburgh Pirates. Descalso hitting well. The Diamondbacks, though, continue to be last in the National League in batting average at .222. Paul Goldschmidt has been scuffling badly early on for Arizona. He does have a couple of hits in this series. Both of these teams scoring right about 4 runs per game.
Yeah, Diamondbacks doing everything well except for, scoring runs. I mean, that's a big deal, but pitching, starters, relievers, very good. Defense, exceptional.
2-2 pitch. Dyson's on the move, and there's a drive to right field, and it's a 3-2 ball game. Number 5 on the year for Daniel Descalso.
Yep, fastball in, didn't get it in far enough, and Descalso turns on it. And so the struggles for Woodruff continue. There it is, fastball in. Dyson was on the run, but Descalso was able to line it over the right field wall. Back to a one-run game.
Well, settle in. Here's Goldschmidt. Had a hit and a walk last night. So all the talk about the lack of home runs in this ballpark. There were 2 homers combined in the first 2 games. We have seen 3 in the first inning today. It's another chance for Tyler Saladino for out number 2.
And Humidor's not going to hold those 3 homers.
No.
I mean, those balls were smoked. I mean, we've seen some balls in this series that maybe in years past might have left the ballpark. Goldschmidt hit one on Monday night, but I don't care what you do to the baseball, those are going to be homers, those 3 today.
Yeah, no doubters. No wall scrapers so far today. Here's Steven Souza. He had a couple of hits on Monday. Drove in his first RBI as a Diamondback, the former Tampa Bay Ray. Quickly, it's 2 strikes and nothing. And Woodruff's last start, it was a wild one at Coors Field. And we see another one of those slugfest type of games today. And a strikeout to win the inning. A little bounce back from Woodruff after giving up the 2-run homer to Descalso. 3-2 Brewers after 1.
For the Brewers as we head to the second inning. Hey, the weather's warming up and we're officially entering prime tailgate season, and you can get your festivities started with the new tailgate ticket pack featuring 6 Friday game tickets, plus 2 free parking passes, all for just $20 per person. Learn more at brewers.com/tailgate.
Jet Bandy leading off, 8-9-1 in the Milwaukee batting order. Bandy came on as a pinch hitter last night in the 8th inning. Bandy, Woodruff, and Lorenzo Cain here in the 2nd inning. A lot going on in the 1st. As Cook finds the bottom of the zone.
That big shift. And figuring that if Bandy hits it on the ground, he's going to pull it. Straight away in the outfield. That's pretty standard.
1-1 to Bandy. This is start number 17 behind the plate for Jet this season. And he pops this one. Almost a ceiling scraper. Goldschmidt will put it away, 1 out. Now Brandon Woodruff. Start number 3 for Woodruff. He's also come out of the pen.
He's actually had 4 appearances as a reliever. 3rd start today.
3 2/3 against the Cubs and just 3 last Friday night against the Rockies. The 1-1. The chopper, Ketel Marte, is there. It's out number 2. So Cook trying to settle in, giving up back-to-back homers in the 1st inning. He has retired the first 2 here in the 2nd. Now Lorenzo Cain. Been busy already. 10th stolen base of the year. His career high is 26, or 28 I should say. Had that in back-to-back years, the pennant winning years for the Royals, 2014 and 15.
He does a nice job picking his spots. I mean, he's not one of those guys just going to steal to get the numbers. It makes sense if he feels like he can get a jump like he did in the 1st inning. He's going to take it.
His success rate's always been good. He's never been caught more than a half dozen times in any one year. And he's 10 out of 12 so far this season. Craig Counsell has been getting good work from Cain at the top of the order. Good on base guy, and as advertised, taking care of things out in center field.
Yeah, Brewers 3rd in the league in stolen bases with 31.
A ball, 2 strikes. Hot shot back up the middle.
The definition of a hanger right there. That slider right down the middle of the plate, about belt high, and Lorenzo Cain not going to miss too many of those. Look out. A hanger right down the middle. Lorenzo Cain saying thank you very much. I'll take it.
Hit number 4 for the Brewers. Here's Travis Shaw. Or excuse me, Christian Yelich. I'm just in a hurry to get to Shaw again since he hit one 9 miles in the first inning.
Let's see if Christian can hit one 9 miles.
He's capable.
Yeah.
Tap back to the pitcher. There's Shaw. Thank you very much. One 0 to Yelich.
It takes guys a little bit longer to get ready to hit these days. See Travis in the hole. He's getting on all his armor.
It's a production, isn't it?
Yeah, the leg, the foot guard. He's got the gloves going. Helmet.
Hey, it's all working.
Yeah.
2 balls, no strikes to Yelich. And there's a shot to right field. And it's gone. Christian Yelich with a rope. Another long ball for the Brew Crew. A 5-2 game.
Well, you can't hit the ball any harder than that. I mean, every one of the home runs hit today have been just barreled up. The last 2 line drives to Scalzo, now Christian Yelich. The only question was that going to be high enough to get out of the ballpark. Check this out. What, 89 miles an hour, middle in, cutter. See you later. You can't hit it any harder than that. Well, the Brewers get those 2 runs back quickly. 2 outs, nobody on, single homer. And now it's 5-2. Wow.
Number 4 for Christian Yelich, and the exit velo 112. Another one that was smoked. 3 home runs for the Brewers already this afternoon.
What's their record when they hit 3? Pretty good, huh?
I think it's pretty good.
Anybody's record would be pretty good with 3 homers.
Mentioned Cook came in giving up 5 home runs this season, 4 of them in his last 3 starts, including 2 against the Nationals in his last starting assignment. The Brewers are getting to him early and often today.
And doing it in a day game where Cook has been very good. He's 2-0 in the day games and a 188 earned run average. So he's been pretty good during the day.
2-2 to Aguilar. And there's a fly ball into left field. That's hit high and well, but it's going to hang just enough at the edge of the track for Peralta to put it away, and that'll do it for the Brewers. But another scoring inning against Matt Cook. Christian Yelich with a liner that clears the wall in right field. 5-2 Milwaukee after an inning and 1/2. Run shot in the top half of this second inning. Second time around now for Brandon Woodruff as he faces Ketel Marte, the second baseman. Let's see if Brandon can settle. He gave up a 2-run homer to Daniel Descalso in the first. Marte getting a regular playing time role now with the Diamondbacks. Signed a 5-year deal with the ball club. He's 24 years old.
That velocity a little bit better in this inning. 95 that last one. It's all about the breaking pitch. He's got to be more efficient with that than he was in the first inning.
The 1-2 to Marte. Rifles one foul. Marte went ahead and signed a deal that has him locked in through 2022. 5 years, about $24 million. So that falls under the definition of club friendly.
Yeah, but still, it's you know, first deal, not too bad.
Oh, absolutely. That's a smart decision on his part. He goes down swinging here for out number 1.
They say you're not supposed to turn down your first major contract. I mean, $24 million bucks.
That's very friendly to any 24-year-old.
Yeah, I think it's very unfriendly to Marte.
No, you see guys turn those down when the opportunity is there, but Marte jumped on it. The Diamondbacks like what they see out of the young middle infielder.
And when you turn it down, you end up regretting it.
Seems like more often than not,
well,
right?
You put a lot of pressure on yourself. You know, you turn that down, you're figuring maybe down the road you're going to get more, but you don't need that kind of pressure. You sign that deal, and then the next deal will take care of itself.
In the meantime, you should have a nice bank account.
Yeah.
There is Alex Avila. A rough go at the plate for the Diamondbacks catcher. Two balls, no strikes. And you see his numbers, a lot of strikeouts. Mostly a Tiger, was with the Cubs, got traded to the Cubs last year. 31-year-old. The 2-0.
Going to come a point, maybe this year, but you know, Murphy is going to be the guy that's going to get the lion's share of the catching. I think he has a chance to be a pretty good player. Got a couple of veterans around him.
And there is ball 4, so a walk given up by Brandon Woodruff. Let's get more on today's starter for the Crew as we check in again with Sophia.
Yeah, it was a rough outing for him in his last start Friday against the Rockies. Just 3 innings for him on 81 pitches, 7 earned runs on 9 hits. And talking to Woody yesterday, he said he felt that he just got into too many deep counts. And he said that he thought that there were too many pitches back to back, that the Rockies hitters were keying in on the same pitch. So something he wanted to focus on today was his pitch sequencing. He said he felt he threw some good pitches, but he wants to just really focus on filling up the strike zone. He said, and being aggressive. He said, obviously, you never want to give up runs. And he said, this is all part of the learning process for a young pitcher. He said, working on making those adjustments start to start.
All right, Sophia, let's see how it goes here as Woodruff just walks a slumping hitter in Alex Avila. Here's Nick Ahmed.
And really, the only way you can work on your pitch sequencing is if you're able to throw strikes with those pitches that you want to work in different ways. Right now, he just walked Avila on 4 consecutive fastballs.
Yeah, that's tough.
He got those strikes.
Yeah, this is the first time Avila's been on base in 7 games. Oh, 0-1 to Nick Ahmed. Good block by Jet Bandy.
And Bandy real good blocking pitches. You know, Bandy's able to scoot side to side without really lifting his body up a whole lot. He slides over pretty much without moving up, and that's how you're consistent keeping the ball close.
A ball, a strike. Ahmed has never really been known to be a great hitter. He is, we talked about in the series earlier, he's showing a little more power here. His career high over a season is 9 home runs, already a half dozen. Here's the 2-1. Back to the fastball. As remember Woodruff's first start last year in Tampa. He's kind of on the edge in those first couple of innings. It ended up being a very good debut for him.
Yep, didn't give up a run, left the bases loaded a couple of times.
Two on the way. The center field. Out number 2.
Now that's good pitch sequencing. I mean, you know, Woodruff talking about the pitch sequences, and a good job by Bandy. Went with a slider off the plate. Then he went a fastball away for strike 2. He has Ahmed thinking outside. Then he jams him with a fastball. Pretty good work. You know, setting up and working that cut sequencing is one thing. Executing it is a completely different thing. He did a good job with it.
Two outs here in the second inning. Pitcher versus pitcher now as Woodruff faces Matt Cook, who does have 1 hit in 7 at bats. Cook was born in Iowa, played his college ball at the University of Louisville. AAA last year and had a couple of stints on the disabled list. Like the Brewers are doing, the Diamondbacks as well. Shelby Miller, who they hope will be back here at some point in the not too distant future from Tommy John surgery. Taijuan Walker, whose season ended after 3 starts this season. This Brewers rotation a little different looking than what we had thought. Zach Davies on the DL, Chase Anderson on the DL. Hopefully not for long for either.
The Diamondbacks have Robbie Ray on the disabled list. Yeah, they have a loaded DL, the Diamondbacks.
Yet they're pitching very well, especially that bullpen. Here's the 2-2. Already a couple of walks issued by Woodruff, and both to very light hitters. And a ground ball to VR. And that'll do it for Arizona here in the second inning. So just a walk, that's it. Well, Travis Shaw, this is how his day started at the plate, a 2-run homer. And Santana followed. Brewers went back-to-back with the first 2 up as we move to inning number 3. third inning here at Chase Field. Travis Shaw will be leading things off, and he has been flexing his muscles. He's had some company doing it. Check this out. 111.5 miles per hour. Bangs one off the foul pole. Domingo Santana goes deep. Brewers go back-to-back for the 5th time this season. Daniel Descalso goes deep off Brandon Woodruff. And then it was Christian Yelich at better than 112 miles per hour. No humidor can stop the balls from flying out here today. Our Badger Mutual Insurance plays of the game.
I like the tracer following the ball.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
It is nice. Very nice.
Good effect. Tracer's getting a workout early today. There is Matt Cook. His ERA very good coming into this game, 2.43. But the Brewers have knocked him around. And a strike to Travis Shaw. His home run and RBI totals stretching his lead, club lead in those categories. And he hits this very high into right field. Steven Souza for out number 1.
Right fielder Domingo Santana.
Couple of games in the books this afternoon. Pirates knocked off the White Sox 3-2. Phillies over the Orioles 4-1. A couple of more rainouts today as well.
Expecting some weather in New York. That's where the Diamondbacks are heading.
Santana grounds out to Nick Ahmed. 2 up, 2 down.
Speaking of the Mets, they're down 12-zip to the Blue Jays.
Second baseman, John.
That was Zach Wheeler who got roughed up. 6 runs in 4 innings. Cardinals lead the Twins 7-4. They're in the bottom of the 8th. Target field. Brewers head there after the game. Off day tomorrow. Start the series on Friday. VR singled to left in the first inning off Cook. Brewers got their runs in the second after the first 2 were retired. 2-out single from Kane, and then the 2-run home run off the bat of Christian Yelich.
The Brewers have been doing a lot of that, on this road trip. 2-out rallies. And today it's been the top half of the batting order. The bottom half of the order has been chiming in quite a bit on this trip.
And the games they've won, that's been a significant reason why. Here comes the 1-2. Brewers have beaten some very good pitchers, very established pitchers here in the last week or so. Gave themselves a chance last night against Zach Greinke. Corey Kluber knocked off 8 days ago. Gave Patrick Corbin his first loss of the year on Monday night. And a bouncer to Nick Ahmed, and Matt Cook will have a 3-up, 3-down 3rd inning. It's the first time we have seen the order side retired in order. 5-2 Brewers in the 3rd.
hats off for heroes, because no matter where you serve or when you served, we stand ready to serve all military families.
Bottom of the third, 5-2 Brewers. Top of the order now for Arizona. David Peralta leads off. D-backs getting their runs in the first. 2-run shot from Daniel Descalso. Woodruff got through the second, giving up a walk to Alex Avila. That was it. Here's a 1-1 pitch.
Got two pretty good pitches in the outside corner, except for that home run to Descalso. Although he didn't have his real good command, he was able to get through this lineup first time through pretty well. One hit, but the home run cost him 2 runs.
Fastball away to even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes. First time for Woodruff facing the Diamondbacks. Likewise, Matt Cook. His first time against the Brewers. 25-year-old Brandon Woodruff. 11th round pick 4 years ago. And that is a called third strike. Good pitch.
Yeah, right on the edge and down at the knees. 95 miles an hour. That's more like it for Woodruff. He's threw one to Peralta and that had batted 96. Perfect pitch, and he got the call from Jeremy Rehack, the home plate umpire.
Good little punch to his call, too.
Yeah, nice. No Tom Hallion, but pretty good.
Here's Gerard Dyson. Like those emphatic calls, right? A couple quick jabs in there.
Yeah, broadcasters like them loud and quick.
Don't need the delay of game. Third strike call.
Right, keep you guessing. That was Tim McClellan, umpire, longtime umpire, was like that. He kind of hid his strike calls.
Right. 1001, 1002.
He'd bark it out. I mean, the players knew if it was a ball or a strike, but everybody else in the ballpark was left guessing for a second or two.
We were on a need-to-know basis.
Right, yeah.
Woodruff walked Dyson in the first inning. 1 of 2 walks allowed by Brandon Woodruff. Here's a 3-1.
Pitch count right now at 51 for Woodruff, and you figure it's going to be a fairly quick hook if Woodruff gets into any problems. The Brewers have an off day tomorrow. You would think all hands on deck today.
And he's just walked Dyson for the second time here this afternoon. Hey, Brewers fans, if you can't catch games on TV, stream them live on your mobile device with Fox Sports Go, presented by T-Mobile. Download the app to Fox Sports Wisconsin and Brewers baseball wherever you go. 1 out, 1 on for Arizona in the third inning, and Daniel Descalso. Home run hitting Daniel Descalso. 2-run shot in the first.
Yeah, tried to sneak a fastball in on his hands, and Descalso turned on it.
His 5th of the year. He now has 22 RBIs. His career high came here in his first year with the Diamondbacks last year. Went deep 10 times. Appeared in 130 games. Several years with the Cardinals, a couple with Colorado before coming out here.
He's had himself a nice career.
He has.
Guy that can play just about everywhere. He'll give you a solid at bat. I don't think he expected to be in the number 3 spot in the batting order, but he's done a good job there. A couple of games.
Had to shuffle the lineup with Pollock out. Goldschmidt hitting cleanup again. Back-to-back games. The first 2 games he's been in the 4 spot in the lineup. Yeah, Descalso in his Cardinal years had a very good year in their last championship season of 2011. Played a lot when David Freese was injured. Then obviously Freese returned, and you all know the rest of that story. 2 strikes and nothing to Descalso. And there's the second strikeout of the inning for Brandon Woodruff, and his 4th so far today.
Yeah, just stayed away from Descalso, and this time able to get him. I think they called it on a check swing, but I think it was a strike anyway. A good pitch. I mean, he's starting to dial in that outside corner a little bit.
A strikeout either way. 2 outs for Paul Goldschmidt. "36 homers a year ago. That matched a career high in 2013. He led the league with the 36 bombs and 125 RBIs. Drove in 120 last year. Dyson is running. Throw from Bandy. And a stolen base for Gerard Dyson.
Yeah, you better make sure you're going to make it when you're taking off with Goldschmidt at the plate. I don't care what he's hitting. Always a home run threat. Dyson with a really good jump. Really no chance for Bandy. Even a perfect throw, I doubt they get him. Still can run.
Number 6 this year for Dyson. A ball, a strike to Goldschmidt. And a very high pop-up out into shallow left. Saladino for out number 3. So another walk, and again no damage done. Brewers lead after 3. Saladino will lead things off. We've been talking the last few days, the early impression he's making with his Brewers ball club. Check this out, Monday night inside the Park Rock against the Diamondbacks.
And there was the only question was Eddie going to send him around third base, but why not? And just barely able to get in there. Good send by Eddie. It looked like Saladino was kind of running out of some gas right there, but had enough. The inside the park home run as a pinch hitter, the first ever in Brewers history.
He got around there in a hurry, as you see the fastest times home to home this season. Brewers acquired him for the White Sox about a month ago. Broke into the big leagues with the White Sox in 2015, right before the All-Star break. Played his college ball at Oral Roberts University, did Saladino. In 2016, he appeared in 93 games, hit a nice 282. The versatility, he can play all over the infield, or the middle infield depth type of player for the Brewers, it would seem. And there's a shot hit to deep center field, and it is off the wall, gone. It is gone for Saladino. A solo shot, and unlike Monday, this one leaves the yard.
Yeah, much easier run around the bases this time. Wow. Oh, this guy's been swinging it. Couldn't have come at a better time. Eric Sogard got sent down. He had a tough time at the plate. Nick Franklin got called up. He got hurt. And Saladino gets a cutter out over the plate and drives it out of here to center field. Wow. How about this guy?
Man, and another ball that was just drilled. Here's Jet Bandy, a foul ball.
Oh, that ball carried well high off the wall out there, off the batter's eye, and fourth home run of the game for Milwaukee.
You got to clear that yellow line, and it goes up a ways in center field, but Saladino did that. The fourth home run of the ball game now for the Brewers. 2-strike pitch to Bandy. Travis Shaw, a 2-run homer. Santana followed. Yelich, a 2-run homer in the second. Saladino, a solo shot here in the third.
Yeah, far and away the worst start for Cook so far this year.
Cook came in allowing 4 or 5 home runs. He has given up 4 here today, and that is a season high for the Brewers, matching it. 4 long balls here already. We're only in the 4th inning. Two-strike pitch.
Man, Cook coming off a start where he went 8 innings against Washington. Allowed 3 runs. That's it.
Long ball getting to him in a big way. One-two pitch to Bandy. Reaches out and flicks one into the direction of Goldschmidt. Out number 1. Here's Woodruff. The Brewers bats helping him out.
Yeah, last game he started, the Brewers got 11 runs.
And bailed him out. That was the Coors Field game that so many fans are familiar with. There was some pretty good pitching going on there. The next night, in fact, the Brewers were shut out. But the Brewers, in a season where they've had a lot of exciting wins, great comebacks, that may have been the most improbable of the season for Council's group, coming back from 6 down.
Especially against a really good bullpen.
It's a fun debate fans can have. You think of the back-to-back at home to beat the Cardinals, the rally in the opening series against the Padres. That's up the middle, sliding stop. Look at this.
Wow.
Patel Marte knew he had no play. He got some help from Ahmed, and they almost pulled it off.
Yeah, that's sweet. And it was close. And the funny thing is, I mean, these guys, I mean, they work so well together, these middle infielders. They work on this stuff, you know, before the game. Check it out. Ahmed is waiting for the baseball. He knows he's going to get it. And they're almost able to get the out. That's a pretty nifty play right there. Check it out. Ahmed not fooled by the flip. I think if the flip is a little bit better, if he leads him, he's going to get Woodruff at first.
That's an infield single for Brandon Woodruff. Now Lorenzo Cain to the plate. He's been on base a couple of times already. 6 runs on 7 hits for Milwaukee. Here's the 1-0. Breaking ball, and that is hit deep into left center field. And that will hang up there for Dyson to grab, and Woodruff is still running, and he's going to run himself out of the inning.
Yeah.
That's as easy a double play as it gets. Brandon thought there were 2 outs. There was 1. Now there are 3. Inning over. But the Brewers pick up a run. Tyler Saladino leads off this 4th inning with another long ball. Went inside the park Monday. He could dial it back here today. He sends one out of here to center field. 6-2 Brewers. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Lottery, reminding you to please play responsibly. And by Ascension, coming together to give healthcare a better name. We are Ascension.
Back at Chase Field, the Brewers jumping out to a 6-2 lead here in the 4th thanks to 4 home runs on the day. And an update for you on pitcher Jimmy Nelson, still on the disabled list, but he will travel to Los Angeles today for a progress report on his right shoulder. He'll see his surgeon, Dr. Neil Elitrosh, and we spoke with Craig Counsell before the game, and he said, you know, Jimmy's sort of been at a plateau. He said he's been throwing at 150 feet and has not taken that next step to pitching off of the mound. So he said even though Nelson is ahead of schedule, they just want to make sure that this is a routine checkup, get Jimmy Nelson checked out, make sure that things are heading in the right direction. He said mentally that can be important for a player as they're going through a lengthy and a complicated rehab process like Jimmy Nelson is. So certainly we'll hope that we'll get good news from Jimmy Nelson on that report, and then we'll determine if he'll meet the team again in Minnesota or if he'll continue his rehab here in Maryville. And we also want to send our best wishes to catcher Stephen Vogt, who is having surgery on that right shoulder done by the same doctor, Dr. Neil Elatrash, this afternoon in Los Angeles.
All right, Sophia, thank you very much. Steven Souza leading off. I would imagine if you're Jimmy Nelson, as well as he pitched last year, patience is the toughest thing. And make sure that he does everything right, follows the process, and when he comes back, he can stay back. But you have the year he had, he can't get back fast enough.
No, right. And again, I mean, you're right. I mean, just stick with the process that, you know, Dan Wright, Roger Kaplinger, the medical experts are going to present to him, and if he does that, I think he's going to be okay. Tendency is he want to jump the gun and move forward a little bit too quickly before he's ready. That's when you have your setbacks. You got to listen to these guys. They know what they're doing.
Yeah, they do. Steven Souza leading things off here for Arizona. He struck out in the first inning. 1-2 pitch, and Bandy not able to hang on to the foul tip. Woodruff has walked a hitter in each of the first 3 innings. No damage done in the last couple of frames. Here's the 1-2. And he strikes out Souza for the second time this afternoon.
He's had a much better slider as of late. Last couple of innings, he's starting to dial it in a little bit. Well, the fastball's been better located, and with 2 strikes, that's exactly where you want it. A little off the plate. Started on the corner, ends up, you know, way off the outside part of the plate.
1 away for Ketel Marte. It's a strikeout victim. Brandon has 5 of them so far. This is hit well into center field. Kane going back, always in control. Out number 2.
He went back, kept his eye on the baseball, then looked at the wall, and I thought it might go off the wall, but he was just trying to get a sense for where he was. He knew he had it all the way. And it really does make him look easy. Hey, nothing completes an outfit like a Brewers hat, and on Friday, May 25th, the first 20,000 fans at Miller Park will get a Brewers snapback hat modeled after the team's BP tops or BP caps, courtesy of 94.5 KTI Country. Book your seats at brewers.com/tickets.
There you go. That's pretty close right there. That gentleman is wearing. There's Alex Avila, 2 outs, bases empty. Woodruff trying to get his first 1-2-3 inning of the day. The walks have all been to hitters. In fact, they've been to 2 hitters, Dyson twice, and Avila all hitting under 200.
The changeup, starting to mix that one in now.
Good pitch. A ball, a strike. Avila was an all-star in 2011 with the Tigers. Spent a year with the White Sox in 16 and was back with Detroit last year up into the trade. Cubs needed a little more depth behind the plate. He hit well for the Tigers, but it didn't translate to the Cubs. Avila hitting .239 in his 35 games with Joe Maddon's group. Three balls, 1 strike. Nick Ahmed on deck. Full count to Avila.
And just watching Jet Bandy, he's really working Brandon Woodruff today. Really being animated behind home plate, you know, shaking the glove a little bit, just trying to get him to dial in. It's been much better last couple of innings, but Jet's really working his pitcher today. Nodding the head saying, come on, give me your best stuff.
Payoff pitch. He's just issued his 4th walk. Twice to Dyson, twice to Alex Avila.
And they catch up to you after a while. He already walked 1. Dyson in the first inning came around and scoring a home run.
Here's Nick Ahmed. Walks hurting the Brewers last night. A couple of leadoff walks, and in each case, the man came around to score. Oh, 0-1 to Ahmed. A 28-year-old out of Springfield, Massachusetts. College ball at Connecticut. His 5th year with the D-backs.
Very solid defensively. I mean, as steady as it gets. And Nick Ahmed, and as you mentioned before, you know, in his last at bat, not a guy that's going to give you the big batting average, but you know, he's learned to drive the ball a little bit. He's got the 6 homers.
Playing into the concept of the launch angle. He's been able to get some lift. Two balls, 1 strike. 2-out walk to Alex Avila, extending this bottom half of the 4th inning. Just when you think Woodruff is into some rhythm, he's struggling again to locate the strike zone.
And nothing gets you taken out of a ball game quicker than you start walking guys with a lead.
Hitters count for Nick Ahmed. And he let her rip.
Yeah, you got Cook on deck, but I would imagine if Ahmed reaches, they're going to go to a pinch hitter. There is activity in the Diamondbacks bullpen.
It's TJ McFarland up in the Arizona pen.
Yep, nothing but right-handers on the bench for Arizona today.
3-2 pitch, and getting a piece is Ahmed. We haven't seen the bouts of wildness from Woodruff. He's walked 4 here today. The last time he's walked 5, you have to go back to his Class A days in 2015. Little chopper. And this will end the inning. So for the 3rd straight inning, Woodruff walks a man, and for the 3rd straight inning, there's no damage done. Christian Yelich will lead things off in the 5th. Brewers up 6-2.
checking in on the Brewers minor league system. In our UW Whitewater scouting report, stay hot Corey Ray. Last night went 4 for 5, had a double, 2 home runs, 3 RBIs for him. The 23-year-old over his last 5 games has been hitting .476 with 3 home runs. You see the extended stretch there too. The last 10 games, a .341 average. And one of the best prospects in this organization. Good to see Corey Ray off to a good start in Double-A with Biloxi.
Yeah, maybe that second year back from the knee injury, right? We've talked about that before, and he has really come around.
Yeah, coming into form that the Brewers saw when he was at Louisville in college, #1 pick. Good to see him healthy and playing well.
Brewers playing well today. They've hit a season high 4 home runs. Christian Yelich has one of them. He leads off in the 5th. And a ground ball to Goldschmidt. First out of the inning. Three in the first, 2 in the second, 1 more in the 4th off of Cook. Here's Aguilar. A couple of fly balls from him so far today. Average still above 300, on base percentage 375. Had a tough series so far, 1 for 11.
Yeah, getting a lot of playing time. Ryan Braun banged up. You got Thames on the DL, but the Brewers continue to win. Aguilar playing a big part of that. You know, having a rough series, but that's bound to happen.
Mentioned Thames. It was good to see Eric yesterday. Many of us had a chance to tour the spring training facility, the project ongoing in Maryvale.
Yeah, Eric in the weight room. I think they had to bring in extra weights.
Throwing them around.
I don't think they had enough.
That's all you guys got? Come on. Aguilar back up the middle. There you go. Can't keep him down for long. And that's hit number 8 for Milwaukee.
Yeah, taking it right back through the middle. Yeah, 8 hits, 6 runs against Cook. He just has not had it today. And Torey Lovullo trying to get 1 more inning out of him. They're going to pinch hit for him. His spot's due to lead off the bottom of the 5th.
This by far his roughest outing. Here's Travis Shaw. He got this home run barrage started. 2-run shot in the first inning. Pretty typical alignments for Shaw. And another shot, right field, off the wall. Aguilar on his way to third, and he will stop there. A double for Shaw, and man, you said he was dialed in. He sure is.
Yeah, he's barreling up everything. Even his last time up, that fly ball to right, he hit it on the barrel, but got under it. And that one just hit too hard to carry out of the ballpark. You wonder how long they're going to go with Cook here. He is really getting hit hard today, and this is about as hard as you can hit a baseball. That cut fastball, 89 miles an hour, and Travis Shaw with a nice short stroke. You see the exit velocity on that one. Right off the top of the wall.
You're going to get your answer here as Lovullo's going to go ahead and make a move. Every hit an extra base hit, with the exception of the Aguilar single. Pitching change. Brewers lead 6-2 in the 5th. chased Matt Cook after just 4 1/3 innings, and now TJ McFarland is on the mound.
Yeah, this guy's been pretty good. 13th appearance and 210 earned run average. This guy's got 3 outings of 4 or more innings, so the long man out of the bullpen for the Diamondbacks.
Aguilar a single, Shaw a double, and now Domingo Santana, who has homered today. I want to correct myself. Shaw's hits, all of his hits, 3 of them in the series, 2 today, have been for extra bases. Brewers have their share of extra base hits today with 4 long balls. Home run number 2 for Santana in the first inning. Also has grounded out to short. The 1-0. Brewers trying to win another series against a team that just couldn't lose a series. The Diamondbacks won their first 9. They were swept by the Nationals last weekend. That was the first series they lost. Infield was in. Marte, no play at the plate. Busting on contact was Aguilar. The play is at first for out number 2, but Aguilar is in. RBI ground ball from Santana.
Well, that was a good break off of third base. He went on contact. He did not hesitate. And it was a good thing that he didn't hesitate, because Marte was thinking about a throw to home. Check out Aguilar. He's creeping down a line, and he's off like a shot. Well, I mean, maybe not a shot, but quickly.
He bolted, Rock.
And that's a big run. Brewers able to capitalize and stretch their lead to 5. That was good base running by Aguilar. Got a good jump.
7-2 now. Shaw remains at second for Jonathan Villar. And a base hit down the line. This will score Shaw. Villar to second. And another hit for Villar from the right side of the plate. Had a couple of them on Monday. An opposite field double here today.
Well, he's really starting to dial in. Jonathan Villar hitting the ball where it's pitched. And think about his 2 hits today. He's got a base hit to left as a left-handed hitter. And now a double to right as a right-handed hitter. So he's really starting to take the ball to the opposite field. And the Brewers stretch their lead. 2 spot here in the 5th. He was thinking about third. Any problem down the corner, he's going to think triple.
8-2 Milwaukee. Here's Tyler Saladino. Homer to dead center an inning ago. Off to a terrific start is Saladino for Craig Counsell's Brewers. Mentioned those years with the White Sox. Saladino played a fair amount. He appeared in 93 games in 2016. That was the year he showed the most pop. He had 8 homers that year and hitting .282 for Chicago. The ball a strike with Villar the runner at second. Fly ball to center. Room for Dyson. And that'll do it for the Brewers here in inning number 5, but they push across a couple of more runs. 8-2 Milwaukee in the 5th.
We go out to Target Field, a 2-game series between the Cardinals and the Twins, and a look at Tommy Pham homering on a fly ball to right center field. This was give the Cardinals a 7-3 lead in the 8th. That was a split series between the Cardinals and the Twins, and the Brewers will head to Minnesota tonight after the game for a 3-game set against the Twins over the weekend.
Yes, sir, and it will mark the return of Brian Anderson, by the way. He'll be stepping in for a couple of weeks.
That's right. BA's back Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I hope he's well rested.
I'm sure you do. BA finishing up his NBA duties. He'll be back with us more often than not.
You know he's watching today.
I know.
Probably laying on the couch.
Have some of his people text us at some point. TJ McFarland's going to hit for himself here. And bounces one to Saladino. Out number 1. Not swapping messages yesterday with BA. He's eager to get back. Eager to have him back.
Oh, he's texting you, huh? I haven't heard from him in like 6 weeks.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He's kind of just blowing you off, is he? Okay.
We do spend a lot of time together.
It's going to be an emotional return, isn't it?
Yeah. We're going to have fun with him. He's going to earn his seat. By the way, well done. I mean, you did well. The team played well while you were here. But you're going to be back.
Yeah, back in a couple. So you've been warned. Yeah, BA will be back for a couple weeks. And then I've got the next 3 city with you, Rock.
Yeah.
BA's no fool.
BA doesn't travel, huh? All right. Yeah, what is it? Chicago White Sox, Cleveland, and Philly, right?
Yeah, a couple off days.
Already talking about the next road trip. We got
know.
a nice long homestand coming up.
Yeah, it'll be sweet. Sweet to get this team back to Miller Park. Haven't been there a whole lot lately, as you all know. Peralta down to the count, a ball, 2 strikes. Work to do today, but the Brewers owe the Twins a little bit. They gave the Brewers fits last year.
All 4.
Yeah. Here comes the 1-2. Fastball is high. Peralta chasing one. Woodruff has walked 4. The first one hurt him. He walked Dyson, and Descalso followed with a 2-run homer. He's walked a man in each of the last 3 innings, but no damage was done.
He has been able to retire the leadoff hitter in every inning. That helps.
2-2 pitch. Yeah, you just go back all the way to last night. A couple of leadoff walks burned Milwaukee.
Yep, only 2 runs in a game for Arizona.
Three-two pitch. Got him. Good change for Brandon Woodruff for out number 2.
Yeah, full count. 6-run lead. Goes with the changeup, and a beauty at that. Well done. I mean, that's as good as it gets, right on the outside corner. That's the last thing Peralta's thinking. A big lead, full count. He's figuring fastball and pulled the string on him.
2 away, bases empty for Gerard Dyson. He has walked twice today, scored a run. Another changeup. Looking again for his first 1-2-3 inning. 1-1 pitch.
This could be his last inning. He's sitting at 92 pitches.
Pitcher spot due up seconds in the 6th inning.
And the Brewers have tomorrow off, and full complement of pitchers down in the bullpen.
At the moment, nothing doing in the Milwaukee bullpen. 1-2 pitch to Dyson.
Had it not been for the pitch count, I think Craig Counsell let him continue, but I probably figure you're going to be around 100 pitches. We'll see.
Pitch number 94 coming up. In the air to center. It's going to hang up there for Lorenzo Cain. And for the first time today, Brandon Woodruff sets down the D-backs in order. 8-2 after 5.
Arizona on getaway day, and today's time of the game winner, Second Shot Saloon in Fenimore. If they call the Brewers by 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, they get 40 tickets to a Friday night game in the Miller Lite Beer Pen. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Second Shot Saloon.
Yeah, I want to say hello to my buddy Steve Landowski in Fenimore. Could be at the Second Shot Saloon right now, but a little early maybe. Of course, no, it's 2 hours later, right?
It's going to be 5 o'clock somewhere pretty soon. Just saying. Jed Bandy leads off. Brewers with the 10 hits. Bandy looking for his first. Turning in some good work. You pointed this out, working hard with Brandon Woodruff this afternoon.
And notice all the changeup last inning. I mean, most of them for strikes, and got a big strikeout on that pitch.
Brewers are getting some activity in their bullpen, but there's Matt Albers. Just saw Woodruff in the on-deck circle. Two strikes and nothing to Bandy. And a swing and a miss for out number 1.
Well, we've been talking about the fact that the Brewers bench is a bit short. You got Braun with the back, Perez with the wrist. That leaves Pena, Arcia. So with the 6-run lead, Craig Counsell going to let Woodruff get an at bat. Whether he goes out to start the 6th, we don't know.
And hey, he can hit. Infield single for Woodruff in the 4th. T.J. McFarland finished up the 5th inning. Remains in there. Talked about the walks Woodruff has given up. Keep in mind he has allowed 1 hit. That's it. Yeah. A home run from Descalso. A ball, a strike. There's Descalso at the game-winning RBI last night. A single that scored Gerard Dyson in the 8th inning.
Yeah, that was at 2 outs. Boone Logan on the mound, lefty versus lefty. Craig Counsell had the matchup that he wanted, but Descalso with the base hit.
Woodruff hits it right on the screws, but right to Goldschmidt for the 2nd out of the inning.
Center fielder, Lorenzo Cain.
And now back to the top of the order, and Lorenzo Cain. Let's check out his day at the plate, presented by Wendy's. He walked, stole the base, scored a run in the 1st inning. Singled to center and scored in the 2nd. A fly ball to center that was turned into a double play. Brandon Woodruff losing count of the outs. Turned into an easy double play. Cain at the top of the order once again, getting on base a couple of more times this afternoon. Talk a lot about his on-base percentage, which has been very good. The high 300s. His OPS is .827. Gets your attention as well.
Yeah, he's solid. I mean, no question. No surprise. That's why the Brewers signed him to a long-term deal. But I just love watching him chase down fly balls. It's such a good jump. Positions himself nicely. And makes what a lot of players would turn into highlight catches fairly routine.
He's so in control. The way he glides after the ball. Like, I got this. Everybody calm down.
It's like that deep fly ball to center field earlier in the game. Looked like it might go off the wall the way he was playing it, but kind of cruised on in there, able to catch it right in front of the fence. Another walk for him.
Second one he has drawn today, and the 27th he has drawn this season. So the 6th inning continues for Christian Yelich. His 1 hit was a loud one. 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. Yelich, as you see, with a very healthy OPS as well. Top 2 spots in the Milwaukee batting order. Very, very productive. Brewers outfield covers a lot of ground. Pitchers talked about that in the days after both were acquired. Cain, the free agent signing, and Yelich with the trade from the Marlins.
Yeah, pitchers were asked about you know, what the addition of those 2 guys meant, and none of them really talking about the offense. You know how many extra bases they're going to save me? Extra base hits? Yeah.
Cover those gaps. Two really good all-around players. 2 balls, no strikes. Eight runs, 10 hits for the Brewers, 2 runs, 1 hit for Arizona. Two 1 pitch. Little check swing. Talked about the humidor being a factor this season, but Mark, as you mentioned multiple times, the humidor is going to stop these shots from leaving the ballpark.
Now cutter, middle in, and Yelich able to turn on it. And none of the home runs that we've seen hit, all 5 of them would have gone out of the ballpark, no matter if they had that humidor or not.
Powerball home run count, 4 of them now on the year for Christian Yelich. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The second season with the Diamondbacks for McFarland. He was DFA'd by the Orioles a year ago, February. Diamondbacks signed him a few days later. Good ground ball pitcher when he's right. Better than 60% is his ground ball rate. 2-2 pitch. This with the slider. Matt Cook went just 4 1/3. Gave up 9 hits, 8 runs, all earned. Gave up all 4 of the home runs the Brewers have today. A season high 4 home runs for Milwaukee. Three-two pitch.
Yeah, earned run average for Cook goes from 2.43 all the way up to 4.06. That hurts.
ERA buster.
Yeah, just 1 outing.
Yeah, it's worth a reminder the most runs he had allowed in any one start was the previous one against the Nationals, 3 earned runs. Brewers went to work against him early this afternoon. Kane again will be on the move. And the payoff pitch. Hit in the air to shallow center field. Nick Ahmed will give way to Jarrod Dyson, and that'll do it for Milwaukee in inning number 6. Brandon Woodruff having a nice day. His team leads 8-2. Move to the bottom of the 6th. Top of the 6th inning here at Chase Field, Phoenix, Arizona. A good day for Brandon Woodruff here this afternoon. He will now make way as Matt Albers out of the bullpen for Milwaukee.
Man, let's saw Matt on Sunday against Colorado. Inning in the 3rd, gave up a run, gave up a home run, but had not allowed an earned run in any of his previous 9 appearances. Overall, a 135 earned run average in game number 18.
The top 2 bullpens in the National League, the Arizona Diamondbacks and the Milwaukee Brewers. Daniel Descalso will lead off. He has the one hit today for Arizona, the 2-run homer in the first. In the air to center field. Kane. One out.
You figure the way Craig Counsell is going to use the bullpen today is probably going to be 1 inning apiece. Then you figure Knable needs an inning today. You might see Jennings. Jeremy Jeffress had a stiff neck during yesterday's game. Not sure if he's available today. But with an off day tomorrow, you don't want to have your guys sitting on the sidelines too long.
Yeah, it's the reverse challenge, because you worry on one hand about wearing guys down a little bit, but now they're in a mode where you got a day off. Want to take advantage of that, but get some work in too, and have everybody ready to go on Friday at Target Field.
You might see Jorge Lopez in a game. If the Brewers continue to keep a lead like this, you might see him maybe finish the game. Who knows how Counsell's going to play it. They haven't had this luxury very often. A big lead. Of course, there's plenty of game left.
Ball, a strike to Paul Goldschmidt. Goldschmidt today, a ground ball to short and a pop up to short. Albers with a slider in there to even the count. The 2-2 in the hole. Saladino. Yes, sir. Yeah, he can pick it all right.
Yeah, we were told when he got called up, the coaches would say, watch this guy pick it at shortstop. Brewers very fortunate to have a couple of shortstops that can pick it like that. Arcia, Saladino. Check it out. He goes down very quickly, gets up, and a good throw to first and gets Goldschmidt. It's good balance. Got him easily.
Pops up quickly. Nice play. So now Steven Souza. Couple of strikeouts today for Souza. Good slider again from Albers. A ball, a strike.
That sinker slider basically throws a lot of strikes. Likes to work ahead in the count like every pitcher does. But then when he does get ahead in the count, he's able to get outs off the plate.
Brandon Woodruff goes the first 5. 2 runs, just 1 hit, walked 4, struck out 6. Got that changeup again this afternoon as well.
Man, right at the end. And it was a good pitch for him. He got better as the game went on. He really did. He struggled the first few innings. I guess it's hard to say he struggled when he's only given up the 1 hit, but there's some control issues, right? I mean, walking some guys.
Yeah, it's the kind of thing against a hotter hitting team that could have haunted him a little bit today, but he was, to his credit, he fought through it. And his last inning was his best. So Arizona down in order. 2-2 to Steven Souza. injured late in spring training. His regular season started late. Payoff pitch. Tough play for Saladino, unable to make the bare hand pick. Infield single for Sousa, so 2 outs and a runner at first. That will be a single. Well, we were talking a couple of minutes ago about Jeremy Jeffress, who was unavailable last night because of his stiff neck. For more on Jeffress's status, let's send it down and check in with Sophia.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. Just a stiff neck for JJ kept him out last night. Said he just kind of slept uncomfortably at home, so he said he worked through some of that. Got treatment yesterday, did have a heat pack on there earlier today, but we talked to him before he went out to warm up, and he said he was good to go for today, so he should be available out of the bullpen.
All right, thank you very much. Another guy that you talk about this bullpen, man, how good has he been?
Yeah, no kidding. He has come in a number of different spots in the game, early, late, doesn't matter.
Ketel Marte, a strikeout, a fly ball to center. Sousa with the second hit of the day for the Diamondbacks. Marte hitting .222. Back up the middle. That went off of Albers. Saladino stays with it. Side retired. Little 1-6-3 action right there to end the inning. Couple of nice plays by the Brewers shortstop. 8-2 Milwaukee.
Set between the Brewers and the D-backs. They have an 8-2 lead as we head to the 7th. And we can all recognize the heroes on the field, but this season the Brewers and Meyer want to honor the heroes that make a difference in our community. Each month, one outstanding local individual will be recognized on the field and throw out the ceremonial first pitch. So if you'd like to nominate someone you know or to learn more, you can visit brewers.com/community. And Matt Rock, 2 more injury updates for you. Nick Franklin will stay behind here and continue to rehab that left quad that put him on the disabled list. He'll continue to do that here in Maryville. And Eric Thames will also stay behind and continue his rehab on his left thumb. He will see the doctor on Monday the 21st, be reevaluated, see if he's cleared to begin working out in baseball activities. And then at that point, he may rejoin the big league team.
All right, thank you very much. Yeah, with Nick Franklin, he gets called up first game in, and then he suffers that quad injury. That was, talk about the extremes, getting back to the big leagues and end up going on the DL right away. Here is Jesus Aguilar. Got into the hit parade today. 10 hits now for Milwaukee. TJ McFarland stays in there, so Lovullo looking for his long man to be just that.
Yeah, he's done that quite a bit. Yeah, 3 times 4 or more innings out of the bullpen. That is a long man.
That is the definition right there. Aguilar, Shaw, and Santana. Brewers trying to get another series win on the road. Took 3 out of 4 in Colorado. They are 15-9 away from Miller Park. That last 3-city road trip, they went 5-4. It was all about sweeps. 2 good and 1 not so good. Travis Shaw hit his 10th home run of the year in the first inning today. Three-two pitch. We'll talk about from the first baseman. How many going to have enough room to have 3? Well, Braun not available the last few days. He's played some first. Eric Thames on the DL. It all works itself out again.
Yeah, there's 1 now.
And a pretty good one. There's Descalso over at third. Out number 1.
Hey, talking all the injuries, you know, they're Zach Davies on the disabled list with that shoulder tightness, discomfort through a bullpen today. Anxious to hear, what comes of that. See how he feels tomorrow. Nice to get him back into the fold.
It's what makes what the Brewers staff has done more and more impressive. Chacin continues to pitch well. He's been really the guy he's been fortunate enough to stay injury free. That's the best way to put it. He's kind of been the bulldog. And his last 7 outings now have been very effective. Junior Guerra Monday was good. Freddie Peralta was just terrific in his debut, and now Woodruff today.
Yeah, it's
good.
4 straight. I mean, and 3 of the 4 not on the opening day roster, right?
They have made it work, showing some of that depth in the organization. Couple of extra base hits for Shaw today. He homered, as we mentioned, also doubled in the 5th. Two home runs in the series. And yanks one out of play.
Actually, it's only 2 of the 4 not on the opening day roster. Woodruff was. Correct. But he's been back and forth quite a bit.
Guerra nearly made it. He was up fairly quickly. Full Council getting some very good efforts from his starting pitchers. Little chopper in front of the plate. And that is out number 2. T.J. McFarland trying to clean some things up after the roughest of outings for Matt Cook. Base is empty with 2 away for Domingo Santana. He's driven in a couple of runs today. Solo homer. An RBI ground ball in the 5th. Here's the 1-strike pitch.
These are very important innings for a guy like McFarland and the Diamondbacks. They started having a rough time. You get a guy out there that can give you 3-4 innings and it'll save your bullpen going forward. One game plays off another.
And we saw that from the Brewers' perspective a few weeks ago when Jorge Lopez, it was a one and done outing. He was sent back to Colorado Springs. Jorge now back with the big club, of course, but he gave Counsell 3 innings in a game against Cincinnati, a game that got away. And he saved some arms with 3 innings out of the pen. Brewers ended up winning the next 2 games 2-0. It's a ground ball to Descalso, and it's a 1-2-3 inning for McFarland in the 7th. Stretch time. Brewers lead 8-2. On Fox Sports Wisconsin is brought to you by Miller Lights, great taste and only 96 calories, and by Toyota. Let's go places. 8-2, Brewers lead the Diamondbacks. Stretch time here at Chase Field. Our future is here, and now's the time to own it. The new home of the Milwaukee Bucks opens next season, but now's the time to lock in your seats. Season ticket packages for the 2018-19 season are on sale now, so purchase yours today at foxsportswisconsin.com/events. Matt Albers took care of business in the 6th, and now the left-hander Dan Jennings on the mound.
Yeah, last saw Jennings against the Rockies on Sunday. Overall, 21st appearance, a 2-1 record, 270 the year in run average. Has the bottom 3 in the Arizona Diamondbacks coming up.
That same guy from last night, I think.
That's sweet.
He just changed his jersey. Same lid, though.
Gotta love a guy that carries a keg around on his head.
It's a liner to VR, and on to first for out number 1. I would agree with that. And wears it with a straight face.
Yeah,
like, yeah, you know.
Although I wouldn't want to be the the person behind him trying to watch the game.
That explains why no one is behind him.
So he's got a little summer shandy working.
Yeah. Keg on his head and a can in his hand.
And all by himself.
And he couldn't care less. That is a look of a content.
Sometimes that's
individual.
okay, right? Just hanging out by yourself. Me and my keg.
What else do you need?
True.
Doesn't sound like a bad thing.
Yeah, speaking of kegs, you got a good off day planned tomorrow?
As a matter of fact, I do. With the keg in my house, I'm not wearing it.
That's right. You're
okay?
heading home, right?
Yeah, heading home. I'll be sure to text you, though, because I know you'll miss me.
Yeah, I want you to.
Yeah, I will. We have some great banter.
Yeah. Send me some nuggets along the way.
Oh, yeah. Nick Ahmed sends one to the gap. in left center field. On his way to second. He's going to motor around second. And he'll have a triple. Nick Ahmed with one out. A triple of Dan Jennings here in the 7th.
That fastball that got a little bit too much of the plate. First triple for him this year. And Jennings trying to come inside and ended up right down the middle, and Ahmed able to hit it hard in the gap. Looked as though Kane was shaded toward right. Took him a while to get there, and Ahmed able to get in safely at third.
Here is Christian Walker, called up from AAA Reno yesterday after A.J. Pollock was put on the disabled list. Second time up for Walker. He broke up a no-hitter. It's Tyson Ross of the Padres. That was in the 8th inning. His other hit, he launched. Hit a pinch hit home run against the Dodgers. He got the measurement on that blast at 479 feet.
Yeah, he does take a healthy hack based on what we just saw.
Big year in the Pacific Coast League last year. He was the MVP, in fact, at the PCL. 1-1 pitch. Another good hack. Had a 32 homer year in AAA last year. Drove in 114. One out, one on. The 1-2.
Yeah, much better location there, up and in. Didn't want to let this guy get his arms extended.
Jennings giving up a one-out triple to Nick Ahmed. Facing Christian Walker, originally a 4th-round pick by the Orioles back in 2012. "27 years old, a Pennsylvania native. Played his college baseball at South Carolina.
At the Gamecocks.
Your arch rivals
Yeah,
at Clemson, huh?
Yeah. You know what I found out yesterday in reading the Diamondbacks game notes? That Zach Greinke committed to Clemson. I never knew that.
That's your next conversation starter with them.
Decided to sign pro.
Swing and a miss for Walker. There is Zach, pitched well again last night, but yeah, you guys could have had that little bonding thing going.
Yeah, I wish I had known that when he was with the Brewers.
Right. Could have had some deep conversations about college days.
It's not easy to get into that Greinke inner circle. That would have helped.
You might have had a chance.
Yeah. You can only go back in time.
And you know what? They're back at Miller Park soon.
You're going to mention it to him.
Yeah. What could have been.
If I can get close enough.
Here's David Peralta.
It's one of those things, you don't really hang out too much. I mean, we hang out at the batting cage, right? Before games and kind of walk around, but you never really get a chance to talk about the other team's starting pitchers or talk to them.
Right.
Because we're never in the same spot, never in the same location, before a game. Maybe I'll go to the hotel and just stand in that autograph line and maybe just.
Hey, there you go. You could
shout it out there. Just go downtown early. Maybe he'll come out for lunch.
You're going to do that, aren't you?
I think I might.
That's likely. A ball, 2 strikes to David Peralta. A nice block by Bandy with Ahmed, the runner, at third.
Hey, but that's something I never knew. I mean, that he had a commitment to Clemson out of high school, decided to sign with the Royals.
Worked out pretty well.
Yeah, it did.
I think he's in the middle of a long contract, better than $200 million coming his way. Big 6-year deal. Peralta sends one out to shallow right, but playing out there was Jonathan VR, and that triple is a harmless one. We are through 7, 8-2 Milwaukee. Brewers with the long ball. Travis Shaw getting it started. A 2-run shot high off the foul pole in inning number 1. Domingo Santana follow. Brewers go back-to-back for the 5th time already this season. Christian Yelich gets in the party with his liner over the wall in right. And Tyler Saladino inside the park on Monday. Dead center today. A season high 4 home runs for the Brewers. Let's get to the Powerball home run leaderboard. Shaw with that bomb in the first now has 10. Eric Thames 7. Braun and Kane each with 5. Your Powerball home run leaderboard. An 8-2 lead here for the Brew Crew as we move to the top half of the 8th inning. Jonathan VR will lead things off. Another hit from the right side of the plate today for VR. Facing another left-hander right now. Jorge De La Rosa.
He's had a nice career. As a Brewer, when he was a youngster, they were trying to get him, figure out if he was going to be a starter or a reliever. 21 appearances now and a 257 earned run average. He's always been very good at retiring lefties.
One-time Milwaukee Brewer, Jorge De La Rosa. The small world that is Major League Baseball. Came over with Craig Counsell in that 2003 trade.
And Richie Sexton deal.
Ball 2 strikes to VR. Here's what we're talking about. Lyle Overbay, Chris Capuano.
A pretty good deal for the Brewers. Lyle Overbay was a Brewer 2 different times. Cappy was an 18-game winner for the Brewers. And the Brewers got a manager.
Got a manager, yeah.
Right.
Manager to be named later. Rosa was a Brewer from 04 to the midway point in 2006. Of course, every time Craig Counsell comes to Arizona, and it's a similar deal in Miami, you think of the championships, the World Series. 2001, an epic 7-gamer with the New York Yankees.
Bob Brentley, the analyst on the Diamondbacks television, manager that year. They won it.
There he is. Well, he's animated about something right now.
He's good.
Yeah,
I like listening to him.
Very, very good. Good
And
guy.
he's done just about everything in baseball, right? I mean, he was catcher.
Yep.
He played with the Giants many years, and one of the top analysts in the game. Went from the Cubs television booth to Arizona.
Yeah, been over here several years now. But yeah, Bob worked with Lenny Casper there for a while. 2 balls, 2 strikes. VR. Good play by Descalso. And there's the first out of the inning.
Shortstop, Tyler Saladino.
And now Tyler Saladino. Having a nice start to his Brewers career. This is his 2nd start with Milwaukee. Was in there at short for the series wind up on Sunday against the Rockies in Denver. And already a couple of home runs. The ball, a strike. De La Rosa now exclusively out of the bullpen. 65 appearances last year for the Rockies. Mentioned his years with the Brewers. From there he was traded to the Royals, and then a number of years with the Rockies. Had a couple of 16-win seasons with Colorado in 09 as well as 2013. Saladino will lift one to right. Souza will put it away for out number 2.
Hey, you'll never miss a second of the action with MLB.TV Premium. Enjoy HD streams of all out-of-market games on over 400 different devices. Plus, get a free MLB.com at-bat premium subscription when you sign up. The at-bat app.
Be dialing you and BA up on that. We venture up north.
Going on vacation, you're gonna
little getaway time.
watch some games?
Yeah,
I don't think you're gonna.
I think I might.
Maybe.
Well, how else am I going to text you? I say, hey, Rock, what's the score? How's the game going?
Yeah, I remember last year after you kind of peeled off after a long stretch, you'd text me every now and again. Normally when we were in like the 14th inning.
I distinctly remember that 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Had one of those 5-hour tussles. BA's first game back.
It's always a pre-show. Always puts a smile on my face when I know you're watching. Even late into the evening.
0-2 to Jet Bandy. Liner right to Marte. The shift cost Bandy a hit. And the Brewers go down in order. Still 8-2 Milwaukee. All right, Daria, thank you very much. Counts his team enjoying this 6-run lead and trying to take 2 out of 3 from Arizona before this road trip moves on to Minneapolis. Chris Owings now will pinch hit for Gerard Dyson, leading off the home half of the 8th. Those two are going to get a lot more turns out in center field with A.J. Pollock on the DL. They're projecting he will be out 4 to 8 weeks with that fractured thumb suffered in the 9th inning of Monday night's game.
And that's a big blow to an offense that's already been kind of sputtering this year, because Pollock, far and away their most consistent hitter. Last thing they need.
Yeah, he was a guy, I know it's the middle of May, but they start throwing around candidates for awards and all of that. Pollock's name was certainly being thrown around for that. Chris Owings, with his versatility in his career, serving him well. You remember in 2014, he was starting to emerge in this organization. They had Didi Gregorius at the time, but Owings began the year starting at shortstop. A couple of years ago, he led the National League with 11 triples. Could be a good, solid hitter, just a good, solid player for this club.
Yeah, started in center field last night.
A slider for Jennings gets him ahead of the count. A ball, 2 strikes. And a bouncer to Jonathan Villar for out number 1. This summer, the World Cup is coming to Fox and FS1. Every match live and more than 300 hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event begins June 14th on Fox and FS1. Watch out for England. Sleeper.
Is that who you're picking?
Yeah, one of the top goal scorers, Harry Kane. Keep that name in mind.
Okay.
Moving forward. You've got Germany, right?
Who you been talking to?
What do you mean? What are you talking about?
You know Harry Kane?
I'm all about England.
Wow, that's pretty good. You're a quick study, aren't you?
Just preparing for the World Cup.
Doing a little internet work last night?
Well, I have a research staff that helps out. Give me a little background.
That's right. You got people everywhere.
Well, since I picked him as my sleeper, I need to learn a little bit about him.
Oh, is that right? We have to do that? I picked Germany, right?
Yeah. Just because?
Yeah, well, no. Fox has got this campaign since the U.S. is not in it. You root for your roots. You get it?
I got it.
Yeah, so, Schroeder, German name, so I'm picking Germany.
Okay. I wasn't contacted for that, so I just plucked a country out of that.
Yeah.
I'll take England.
All right. I could go Poland. Are they in it? I got some Polish blood in me.
Yeah. Let me check that. I'm so enamored with England. Nobody else matters. A ball, 2 strikes to Descalso. Answer to your question, Poland is a participant.
All right, there you go.
Cup. So you're going to have a little divided loyalty.
Yeah, I'm going to have a rough time picking if they got Lockhorns.
Well, they're in Group H, as you know, Rock. Colombia, Japan, Senegal.
All right. All right.
There's a slider putting away Descalso. Mercifully, we get back to baseball before we fully embarrass ourselves.
Yeah, it's pretty good. What do you mean embarrassing yourself? I mean, you're well read in this stuff.
I'm reading right off the phone. 2 outs for Paul Goldschmidt.
That was a good campaign, though, Fox has got going.
That's
right?
fun.
I mean,
it's fun.
Go to your heritage, root for those teams.
I know we have talked about it before, but you go to any number of places, pick a spot, and the fans who are watching on screens and in taverns or wherever, they really get into it. It's a big, big deal, which would be why they call it the World Cup.
Right.
1-0 pitch to Goldschmidt. Good pitch. Bottom of the zone on the edge. One and two to Goldschmidt. Still trying to find it at the plate. This really is much of an individual hitter's mystery as there is in baseball right now. And from the Brewers' perspective, it's one that needs to last a little while. These teams are going to see each other again very soon.
Back at Miller Park after the Minnesota series on the road. Brewers have a nice long homestand, 10 days.
This continues that stretch of 19 of 24 on the road. Went 5-4 on their first three-city trip. Trying to improve to 5-2 in the midst of this 10-game run. And a strikeout of Goldschmidt. Back-to-back strikeouts for Jennings as the D-backs go down in order. Let's move to the ninth. It's 8-2 Brew Crew. Here at Chase Field. They celebrate Memorial Day weekend at Miller Park as the Brewers and Mets face off in a 4-game weekend tussle Thursday, May 24th through Sunday the 27th. View the full weekend schedule, which includes 2 theme nights, 2 giveaway games, and a whole lot more at Brewers.com/promotions. Got some changes here for Arizona. Let's start with the guy on the mound, lefty Andrew Chafin. Now in the game, T.J. McFarland, Jorge De La Rosa, and now Chafin gets his turn.
Hey, got to dig pretty deep to find one of these relievers for Arizona that has had a tough time of it. 2.03 the earned run average for Chafin, 21st appearance, and more strikeouts in innings pitched, 16 punch outs, 13 and a third innings pitched for the lefty.
Right, a pinch hitter here for the Brew Crew as Orlando Arcia will step to the plate to lead off the 9th inning for Milwaukee. And going after the first pitch. Pops it up. And Ketel Marte will handle it for out number 1. The other changes now. Devin Marrero is the new third baseman. Alex Avila moves from behind the plate to first. John Ryan Murphy now catching. Chris Owings staying in the game. And Descalso is the new left fielder who's out there from third. So there you go. You're all set. Lorenzo Cain has been on base 3 times this afternoon. Couple of walks and a single. A 10-hit attack, a 4-home run attack for the Brewers today. The Diamondbacks with just 3 hits. That was enough last night. 2 runs, 3 hits. That's what they have so far this afternoon. Cain, liner right back to Chafin. Out number 2. Hello.
Yeah, just threw the glove down, and there it was. All reactions, good reflexes right here. Just throwing the glove down, getting the leg out of the way, and I got it. Looked like that was a little bit off the end of the bat.
2 up, 2 down. Here is Christian Yelich. Yelich, a 2-run homer in the 2nd inning. There's the 1-strike pitch. We have seen the Arizona bullpen live up to the billing in the 2nd and 3rd games of this series. Brewers got to it on Monday night. Top 2 bullpens in the National League. Diamondbacks and the Brewers.
And pitching has certainly dominated this 3-game series. Yeah, good to see. Every now and again you have a good pitcher's duel, particularly when you come out on top. But you know, so far in the 3 games, Diamondbacks have been limited to 11 hits.
Yeah, that has continued. They came in with the lowest batting average in the National League, and that becomes a point of concern because you know they're good. But the Brewers have kept them down. Yelich goes down swinging. A 1-2-3 inning for Chafin. Brewers looking to finish this one off. Move to the bottom of the 9th. Beerman, Kegman, he's happy. Brewers lead 8-2 as we move to the bottom of the 9th inning. Phoenix, Arizona. Brewers trying to take this series. And Jorge Lopez looking to finish this one off.
Well, they got a 6-run cushion. Craig Counts would like to see Lopez able to finish this one off. Give his guys back into the bullpen an extra day or 2. 5th appearance, 491 the earned run average for Jorge Lopez. Lopez last pitch. So he was in the game last night. Retired the only batter that he faced. That was Goldschmidt. That was in the 8th inning.
Also continues to get good work out of the bullpen. Albers has given him an inning. Jennings 2 today. After Brandon Woodruff started, worked the first 5, gave up just 1 hit, and that was Descalso's 2-run homer in the first. Devin Marrero leading things off here in the 9th inning. Came over via trade from the Red Sox, the latter part of spring training. For the player to be named later, and that player actually has been named, as a lefty pitcher. Josh Taylor was sent to Boston. A ball, a strike to Marrero. Good high fastball from Lopez. 1-2 the count. And now the 1-2. Diamondbacks also have a day off tomorrow before their 3-city road trip starts. It begins in New York, moves on to Milwaukee, and will end in Oakland. And a strikeout for Lopez to start the bottom of the 9th. Let's check out Miller Lights. What's on tap? Off day tomorrow, and then it's on to the Twins series at Target Field. Brent Suter and Kyle Gibson. Your opening night matchup. You see the rest of the matchups: Peralta and Romero, Guerra and Odorizzi. Our coverage starts Friday night, 6:30. Brewers Live here on Fox Sports Wisconsin.
Yep, Joe Odorizzi, former Brewer. He was in that Zach Greinke deal. Sending Odorizzi to Kansas City. Greinke to the Brewers.
There's Ketel Marte. Odorizzi moving from the Rays to the Twins. The Rays making a lot of moves in the offseason. Marlins got a ton of attention, and certainly from the Brewers' perspective, it was part of the formula with the Yelich trade to Miami. The Rays made a lot of moves as well, including Steven Souza coming to Arizona. A ball, 2 strikes. Brewers closing in on win number 26. Here's the 1-2. A little bouncer up the line, and there's nothing Shaw can do about that. Infield single for Ketel Marte.
Good pitch, bad result for Jorge Lopez. It's that changeup. Able to get it away from Marte, and that one rolls literally right over the bag at third. No chance.
Can't roll it up there any better. Just 4th hit of the day for Arizona.
They have 4 hits, and 2 of them infield hits.
Runners going. Defensive indifference. Yeah, the other infield hit came from Steven Souza in the 6th inning. Otherwise, a triple from Nick Ahmed and the 2-run homer from Daniel Descalso. just the 12th hit of the series for Arizona.
That's something.
Well, I know they're struggling with it. Also, you got to credit the Brewers pitching for that.
Starting rotation outstanding in this series. 4 consecutive good starts.
From sources everybody expected right at the beginning of the season.
Right, yep. Top 3 starters on the DL. Guys filling in nicely. Well, the Brewers are very confident in their depth in the pitching staff, not just the bullpen, but rotation down in the minor leagues. And it's come to pass.
Keep going back to the chat we had with Tom Flanagan, the last homestand, Brewers farm director. The arms in the minor leagues, all levels. And we have seen that with Freddie Peralta, obviously, and he gets another turn. Junior Guerra coming back around. Runner goes again, a foul ball off the bat of Avila. What's really been encouraging, been a lot of signs, is the work of late of Yoeli Chassin. Those first 4 outings or so were not particularly impressive, but he has turned things around.
Each and every time out since those first few has been better and better. Very good command of the breaking pitch, off speed last night.
Lopez with a 1-2. Avila today has walked twice and grounded to second. Tel Marte, the runner at second. 1 out here in the 9th. Lopez loads up for the 1-2, and he struck him out. Out number 2 is jogging over to third is Ketel Marte. 2 away now in the 9th.
How about that? 95 miles an hour for Jorge Lopez. You got to feel good about that. That's pretty good. I didn't think he had that in him. Right off the outside corner with 2 strikes at 95.
He was bringing it.
Ate his spinach last night. Boy.
Here's Nick Ahmed. And a ground ball to Saladino. Long throw. And another series win for the Milwaukee Brewers. Boy, this road trip, this stretch of games against teams qualifying for the postseason last year. Brewers take a 3 out of 4 in Colorado. 2 out of 3 here in Arizona. Travis Shaw starts the home run barrage today. A 2-run homer in the first. The Crew with a season high 4 big flies this afternoon.
Yeah, been a little bit of everything in this series. Good pitching, the offense coming to life. Today with the 4 home runs. Good to see it. It's going to be a happy plane ride to Minneapolis and a well-deserved day off for these guys tomorrow.
Your final, the Brewers 8 and the Diamondbacks 2. Let's send it to our Fox Sports Wisconsin studio. Dario Melendez ready to go with Brewers Live.